So the question is, how does all this tie in with game playing? So the four horsemen of the apocalypse are sort of belong along a continuum, and the continuum is from the least offensive to absolute annihilation of a relationship. Beware the four horsemen of the apocalypse, because if any of those are present in your relationship's in trouble until you actually start addressing those things. Doesn't mean that they're not recoverable, but your relationship's in trouble. And these things are along a continuum. So by the time, as I said, you get to stonewalling, then you're really in trouble because you're not talking to each other at all anymore. Game playing can also be managed or lived on a continuum from what we call, or what I call, bedroom games, which are more like the games that are, a bit of slap and tickle, a bit of fun, that sort of light jest stuff that goes on at parties where people sort of gently put each other down and everyone's sort of in agreement and everyone's reasonably okay with it. Okay, still need to be mindful, because depending on the mood of the person on the day, then things can switch pretty easily and pretty quickly. Just as you can change your mind in a positive way, you can also change your mind in a negative way. So on one day, if my husband gives me a slap on the bum and says, God, your bum looks big in that or something, it's like, well, I'm fine with that. But on another day, it might be a whole different story, depending on what's been going on in my life in that day. Okay, so we still need to be really mindful of them. And, as I said before, in terms of responding to game playing, always better to not go there at all. Just be gentle with each other. There's other better ways to communicate than putting anybody down for any good reason. Okay, even if it's by agreement, it's still, it's a little bit like, if you throw enough farmers friends at somebody, eventually they're going to stick and they're going to hurt, and there's a little barb attached to them, and it's not good. And you're right, it can get out of hand. It can get out of hand really quickly. So on the other end of the game continuum, we have the really serious games. And the serious games invariably end up with somebody in the hospital, in the courtroom, or worse, in the morgue. Okay. They're the guns where they have... no, I'm talking about guns and knives. Sorry, say again? I'm talking about serious game playing that ends up with someone being physically hurt. Absolutely. Now, when you're looking at the survivor's triangle, you've got aggressors, the martyrs, and the helpless. Each of them have their own positioning here. So the extreme aggressor's game is the murder. It is the homicide. The extreme... Go on. It's a victim life position.
To kill somebody.
Yes.
Yes, because you're on the survivor's triangle. That's an aggressor.
And here's the thing, if we live down here in the depths of our subconscious mind without any consideration, without any consciousness, without any thought about what we're doing, it's pretty obvious that we may in actual fact end up with a mental illness or indeed even a physical illness, because this isn't living down here. Yeah. It is. It is. Yeah. So they are games. So the slap and tickle, that's at this end of the continuum. A little punch in the arm, a bit of wrestle, that sort of stuff. As long as both people are in agreement, there's nothing wrong with that. But, it's a very fine balancing act between having fun with each other and tipping over into something that's actually becoming harmful